Welcome to today's deep dive. When we think of solving a crime, we usually picture, like, a tense confession room.
Right. A suspect sweating under the lights.
Exactly. But today, a single microscopic fiber can lock away a killer. And the architect behind that shift, that whole modern CSI effect, was Dr. Henry Seeley.
Yeah, we're diving into his 80-year life today. He actually just passed away on March 27, 2026. And his story is, well, it's a mirror reflecting the dramatic evolution and the current crisis of modern forensic science.
The ultimate twist here, and what's so fascinating, is that the strict scientific standards he helped champion eventually became the exact rules used to scrutinize his own early career.
He essentially built the modern forensic machine, but then, he was eventually caught in its gears.
Right, and that shift from spoken confessions to microscopes, it didn't happen overnight. I mean, it started with him arriving in the U.S. as a Taiwanese immigrant with literally $50 in his pocket.
Just $50. And his defining moment was the 1986 Hilla Crafts case, the notorious wood chipper case.
Oh man, yeah, that one is famous.
Before this, the U.S. legal system practically required a complete body for a murder conviction. But he secured a conviction with just 3 ounces of remains.
Wait, 3 ounces? How is that even possible?
I know, it's wild. He found 2,660 bleached hairs and, tiny fragments of pink nail polish in the snow.
Wow.
Yeah, he proved a murder happened without a body.
Which established a massive legal precedent for trace evidence. I mean, it completely changed what juries expected to see.
Absolutely.
But here is where it gets really interesting, because I struggle to square that circle. The guy who practically invented the standard for finding trace evidence is the same guy who completely tore apart the physical evidence in the O.J. Simpson case. Was he, just playing defense attorney?
Well, the O.J. case wasn't about proving innocence for him. It was really about exposing sloppy police procedures. He shifted from finding evidence to auditing the evidence, essentially.
Like a quality control check.
Exactly. For example, he pointed out that 1.5 cc of blood was just completely unaccounted for from police files. And more importantly, he found traces of EDTA in the crime scene bloodstains.
Now, EDTA is a chemical preservative, right?
Yes, it's a chemical used in police vials to stop drawn blood from clotting. So if you find EDTA in bloodstains at a crime scene, the implication is that the blood didn't come directly from a bleeding suspect.
Ah, so it was likely planted there from a police lab tube.
Right. It highlights why a pristine chain of custody matters so much to you, the public, to ensure the justice system remains objective.
So bad procedure ruins good science.
Precisely. And he applied that same impartial rigor during the 2004 Taiwan presidential shooting.
Right, amidst all those intense political conspiracies.
Yeah, he used pure laser trajectory data, so shooting actual laser beams to map the exact, unalterable physical path of the bullet. Just to scientifically prove it came from outside the president's vehicle, he completely silenced the political noise using just pure physics.
It's incredible. He spends decades pushing the legal system to demand perfect, impartial procedure. But then, fast forward, the system turns around and looks at his own work from the 1980s.
Which brings us to the 21st century legal backlash against those 1980s methods. In the 1985 Everett Carr case, he testified that a towel had blood on it based on a chemical TMB test.
And a TMB test that uses a chemical that visibly changes color if hemoglobin is present, right?
Right, but jump to 2023, and a judge actually ruled he fabricated evidence because there was no written record of the test ever happening. The state actually had to pay a $25.2 million settlement.
Okay, let's unpack this. It's almost like failing a math test because you didn't show your work. Was this malicious fabrication or just an 80 scientist being judged by 2020's data logging standards?
If we connect this to the bigger picture, it really reflects a massive paradigm shift. Courts used to completely trust expert authority. I mean, if Dr. Lee swore on the stand he did the TMB test, the jury believed him.
Because he was the authority.
Exactly. Today, courts demand absolute documented data. No written log means the test legally never happened.
So what does this all mean for you listening? It means a shift from trusting the scientist to trusting the data log. When you're consuming true crime media, you have to look beyond the charismatic expert pointing at the whiteboard.
You really have to question those underlying data logs. The invisible paperwork is just as crucial as the physical evidence.
And despite all this controversy, he never stopped pursuing the truth.
No, you didn't. He spent his final days in Nevada, at 87 years old, working tirelessly on a book about missing persons investigations right up to the end.
Still looking for those lost pieces.
Yeah. Which leaves us with a final thought to chew on. In 2025, he himself lectured on how AI and advanced sensors are going to take over crime scenes.
Oh, that's a wild thought.
As we hand the magnifying glass over to algorithms, will future generations look back at today's supposedly flawless DNA profiling and find it just as outdated as an unrecorded 1980s lab test?
Wow. That is a chilling thought. The microscope is always zooming in, and it seems that diagnostic landscape will always remain just a little bit murky.